Andrew Lawton here in Davos, Switzerland for the World Economic Forum Annual Meeting 2023. The world's global elites, banking leaders, national leaders all meeting in the Congress Centre just a little bit over there. You may recall during the Public Order Emergency Commission hearings in Canada, Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland, who is an invited guest here at the World Economic Forum Annual Meeting, shared minutes of her meeting with banking executives on the eve of the federal government's invocation of the Emergencies Act just shy of 1 year ago. And in those meeting minutes, Minister Freeland noted that Darryl/BMO, a reference to Darryl White, the CEO of BMO, had actually called for the convoy organizers to be classified as terrorists under Canada's terrorist financing measures so that banks could intervene and freeze their accounts and perhaps seize their assets. Now, I've asked BMO to comment on this and have not received any response whatsoever. But I did run into BMO CEO Darryl White on the streets of Davos and decided to ask him directly why he wanted to label convoy protesters as terrorists. Minister Freeland said during the Public Order Emergency Commission that you had wanted to call the convoy protesters terrorists to deal with their financing. Why was that?
So I would never call the convoy protesters terrorists. What was said was that in order for the banks to be helpful, there are certain protocols, and those protocols include sanction where we can in fact help in that case. Otherwise, it's not our business to interfere in the affairs of anyone's finances, truckers or otherwise.
One of the other banking executives on that call had pushed back a little bit and said that they didn't want the banks to be weaponized. Was that a view you shared?
Oh, it's always a view I shared. I don't think banks should be weaponized any more than any other industry. I think we have jobs to do, and we do it for Canadians, and I think generally, in fact more than generally, we do it pretty well.
Did you support the financial measures? As you can see there, according to Minister Freeland's handwritten notes, Darryl/BMO said label them as terrorists. He also complained that Canada was being viewed as a banana republic by investors around the world. Freeland pushed back against that and told Mr. White to tell the investor that Canada is not like the USA, who had people literally invade their legislature. Now, Mr. White today is saying that he never wants to see banks weaponized, but he wouldn't answer the question as to whether he supported those measures coming into effect in the first place. I remind you that Minister Freeland's notes from that call show only one banking CEO in Canada pushing back against what the federal government was doing. For True North from Davos, I'm Andrew Lawton.